Ladies and gentlemen, I salute you all in the name of the Almighty. Daniel Walusimbi is my name, the legitimate FUFA president. I would like to welcome you to episode 7 of the Football in Captivity series. I hope you will still find it so interesting, enlightening, and educative. I also hope that you will share this information with your networks. As promised in our previous episode, today's episode is about the role of Her Excellency the First Lady, who was as a Minister of Education and Sports in the persistent existence of these illegalities, where Scoreline Investments Ltd continues to hold out as FUFA, the National Association. In our previous episode, I enlightened you about the role of Ministry of Education and Sports, which is to make administrative decisions and also to supervise National Council of Sports. And in matters where there is an illegality, as it is in this circumstance, it is the responsibility of the minister to make an administrative decision with the guidance of the law to see that sanity prevails. Already precedents were set by her predecessors. That is Honorable Nabidembe Bitamazire, who disbanded the late Dennis Obua's regime for running FUFA illegally as a private limited company, FUFA Limited. And her predecessor, Honorable Jessica Lupo, who enacted the statutory instrument or regulations that outlawed FUFA Limited, also wrote to FIFA to come and witness the disbandment of FUFA Limited because it was outlawed. And a cabinet memo was passed in cabinet where an 8-man normalization committee was to take over the activities of FUFA and not until the rigor regime was established. Unfortunately, this resolution was sabotaged by the former Prime Minister, Honorable Amama Babas, for his selfish interests. And it's unfortunate that Honorable Alupo, who had acquitted herself with enough knowledge about these illegalities, that she was replaced before the conclusion of the process of putting an end to these illegalities or these illegal schemes that were championed by some persons in Ministry of Education and Sports and National Council of Sports. It is unfortunate. But anyway, all I can say, these illegalities continue to exist to date. And that is why there are continuous wrangles in our football industry. And I can assure you, they can never end, not until we have a rigor regime. They can never end. Tebisobola kuggwa paka nga tumaze okufuna a rigor regime. So, the question we ought to ask ourselves is, what has been the role of the current minister, Her Excellency the First Lady, in the persistent existence of these illegalities? Role ye badde kyokuyamba bino ebisaiba ne byonna ebigenda maaso, buno obufere obugenda maaso. Role ya minister aliko Mama Her Excellency the First Lady. What has been her role in the persistent existence of these fraudulent schemes? The truth of the matter is, Mama Her Excellency the First Lady, who is the Minister of Education and Sports, you have allowed these fraudsters to defraud Ugandans and the unsuspecting public. You have allowed them. You have allowed these fraudsters to use your office and your image as the First Lady to promote further fraud. Obayambye, otya. They have always used your office and the meetings that they meet with you to assure people and the public that you also endorse their illegal activities. They are using the meetings that you meet with them and your office to assure everybody that you also, as the First Lady, endorse these illegalities. But we are more than certain that you don't have any personal interest in these fraudulent schemes. But Mama, Her Excellency the First Lady, as the Minister of Education and Sports, you have refused to interest yourself with what is really going on in the football industry. But rather you have chosen to delegate all these issues to the same people who have been championing all the fraud in these industries. Oganya okwewaayo okutegeera ensonga zino gwe ng'omuntu era oyongedde okuziwa okuzidelegatinga kwabo bennyini ate aba championing obufere buneeno. As we informed you in our petitions in 2016 and 2018, which we have never been accorded any audience. Twakupetitioninga mu 2016 nga tunaba kulumba FUFA House ku nsonga eyo ne tugenda. Tuddamu tukupetitioninga mu 2018. But we have been delegating these issues to the same people that we warned you about in our petitions. They are the ones championing all this fraud. You have allowed these selfish individuals to hoodwink you like they had done to your predecessor, Honorable Jessica Alupo. It was only when Honorable Jessica Alupo, your predecessor, chose to interest herself with what was going on in the football industry with the aim of putting an end to these persistent wrangles in the football industry that she chose to meet us and to hear from our side. And from that engagement, things never became the same. She came to know that she was intentionally being hoodwinked by those selfish individuals in the ministry and the National Council of Sports. And when she went and sought legal opinion from the Solicitor General's opinion, as from the Solicitor General's chambers or Attorney General's chambers, they confirmed our allegations and formally wrote on 27th May 2013 that FUFA Limited was illegal. Not until you interest yourself like your predecessor, you continue to be hoodwinked. But we are very certain that you don't have any personal interest in these illegalities, but they are using your image. I would like to make a plea, and this plea goes directly to you, Her Excellency the First Lady, as the Minister of Education and Sports, that a good leader should always strive to make an informed decision. Which informed decision can only be emphasized only when you hear all sides. Engeri yokka gy'osobola okukolamu informed decision ng'owuliza sides zonna n'olaba ne weequipping with enough information to make an informed decision. And I have learned a very important lesson in life, that reality is often not the truth. Ebintu nga bw'obiraba usually si bwe biba. Not until you go and investigate to know more about what you see. Reality often is not the truth. So kindly, with due respect, I request you personally to interest yourself with what is going on in the football industry, to help you make an informed decision in all matters of football, for the sake of our beautiful game, for the sake of our children or grandchildren to come, and for the sake of our beloved country. You know, when you interest yourself with all the information, all knowledge that you need to know, you will not even think of shrinking the whole sovereign country, Uganda, to be held hostage by a mere international organization. That FIFA, in the pretext that FIFA will ban us for enforcing the national laws. If you have the right information, because it is very clear, the information is there. Even FIFA cannot exist without sovereign countries. That's why it is the national association. It is national council which must present a national association to FIFA. Then FIFA can endorse it. But because, Mama, you're not equipped with enough information, you would think that FIFA can decide, a mere international organization can decide on the national laws of a sovereign country, which is not true. And these presidencies were being set. So it is outrageous that even someone can believe that that can happen. But I know, Mama, if you interest yourself with those, the information, or to know what is really going on in our industry, then everything will be so easy, and this persistent existence of these fraudulent schemes will never exist. It will taint your legacy as the second citizen of this country after the president, and as the mother of this nation, to fail to do the right thing and protect Ugandans from further fraud, and also protect the taxpayers' money that continue to be swindled by use of or by the aid of your office and image. So we appeal to you. We appeal to the mother in you to accord us the audience, to enlighten you about the fraud that is going on, so that you will be able to make the most appropriate action for the good of football and our country. Tukusaba, twakupetitioninga oweeyo obudde ogezeeko okumanya ebigenda maaso, era tujja kwipinga buli kimu ekigenda maaso, osobola okusevinga omupiira gwaffe n'okusevinga esente z'omuwi w'omusolo ezigenda maaso nga bakozesa ofiisi yo ne image yo. So we appeal to you to take that decision and meet us. We also wish to put we also put it to your notice that football is our livelihood, and it's the only life that we know, and we are determined to use everything at our disposal to save our families, as you would do the same to save yours. So, Mama, just know that we cannot rest, not until our families get the justice that they so greatly deserve. Tetusobola kuwummula paka nga families zaffe zifunye obwenkanya buli kanaku bwe zikola ki, bwe zideservinga. Tetusobola kuwummula. There are some questions that I would want Mama to ask yourself. They will help you at least come up with something to take the right actions. This is our petition that we petitioned to you in 2018. And I put down 6 questions that we ought to ask ourselves as the minister. And I believe that when you get those answers, everything else will become so clear to you. And I believe that you can get these answers from these questions that I'm going to read if you accept to meet us and engage us. Bino byonna byonna bijja kukuzibula amaaso singa oba osazeewo to meeting. Question 1. Let me read them like the way I sent this petition to you. Question 1. How could it be possible to have 2 people claiming us for presidents and both continue to exist and engage different stakeholders, including the authorities, when we all know that impersonation is criminal and leads to imprisonment? I am the FUFA president, and I can authoritatively say I am the legitimate FUFA president. I petitioned you as the legitimate FUFA president, and this is our headed paper. But how come that somebody who is illegal can engage you and confidently claim to be the legitimate FUFA president? That alone would intrigue you to know more as the First Lady. Second question. How come that we were acknowledged by your predecessor as FUFA? Kijja kityanga predecessor wo yaku acknowledging nga FUFA. This is how her letter. I attached it to that petition. Thirdly, how come that even the Prime Minister found sense in what we were saying? That letter too was attached. Prime Minister's letter. The current Prime Minister. This is her letter. Fourth question that we need to ask ourselves, or you ought to ask ourselves as the First Lady and as the Minister of Education and Sports, that how come that even the National Council of Sports wrote to us as applicants and acknowledge that they have our certificate of incorporation as FUFA the trust in their possession? I attached that letter too. It is here. How come that National Council of Sports also wrote to us? Question 5. How come that NCS also acknowledges in court that it only had we, FUFA the Trust and FUFA Limited, which is now trading as Scoreline Investments Ltd, that apply to National Council of Sports to be recognized as national associations? We attached that affidavit in reply of National Council of Sports to our petition. And lastly, the question we ought that you should ask yourself is, how come that those people that were entrusted with the authority have failed to solve this issue? How come that this issue is still persistent up to now? Trust me, if they were following the law and everything was done in accordance with the law, today we will not be here claiming. This would be impersonation and would be imprisoned. How come? Mama, these are the questions that you ought to ask yourselves and make an informed decision. Not for our sake only, but for the sake of this nation, for the sake of our children and your children, our grandchildren and your grandchildren to come. And as the second citizen of this country, and as a mother of this nation, we hope that you do the right thing. I would like to end our episode by reminding everyone that if you're privileged to know, then taking action becomes a responsibility. I pray when Her Excellency the First Lady, you listen to this video, it will intrigue you to interest yourself to know the truth and take appropriate action as mandated in your duties as the Minister of Education and Sports to protect the unsuspecting public from further fraud. Kansubire bonolaba ka video kano kijja ku intriguing okwagala okumanya nnyo ebisinga n'okulaba ng'osobola protectinga bannayuganda and our taxpayers' money. My beautiful people, please allow me to end our episode here and hope to catch up with you in our next episode on Monday as we talk about the Ministry of Lands. The Ministry of Lands' role in the continued existence of this fraudulent scheme. Please stay blessed. I remain Daniel Walusimbi, your legitimate FUFA president. Thank you.